Welcome to the LIVFIIT Listens podcast, a safe space of growth, personal development, and overall wellness with your host, Olivia Catania. Diving into the realms of all things health, conscious living, mental expansion, and much more, this podcast is designed to help you evolve into your best self and live fit. Let's get into the show. Woohoo! Okay, wow. Do I have the episode for you guys? Okay, everyone get ready because this is going to be a good one. Hello, welcome back to the LIVFIIT Listens podcast. Today we're on episode 70-5. Hope everyone's doing superb as always. If not, it's time to get our mind right. I hope that this podcast will help to have your day go better, to have you be feeling more well. You know what I'm saying? So for my gratitude for today, I am super thankful for, a couple different things. I honestly have two. I haven't decided yet if I'm just going to honestly just sit down and film record another episode after this one, because I have so many things to say today. Two big kind of lessons or concepts that I want to talk about. Firstly being kind of talking about on the category in the lane of being able to do things alone. Last night, I really wanted to go to this concert. It was Loud Luxury. I last minute heard that they were coming to Salt Lake City. I really wanted to go. I basically asked all five people in my circle here in Utah, and people either couldn't go or they weren't feeling it and didn't want to go. And last year specifically, there were so many concerts that I wanted to go to, and I truly, as sad and pathetic as this sounds, I'm just being open and honest because I know that there's people out there that are going to resonate in some way. I literally didn't have people to go with last year, and those are the reasons why I didn't go. And it just sucks. I just kind of was done kind of taking myself out of life experiences just simply because I didn't have people to go with was the first thing. And second thing, I've also been in the space where I would just rather go alone than have to try to convince people to go or be with people who I feel don't actually genuinely want to be there. I have no interest in dragging people to do things that they don't want to do. You know what I mean? If anything, it kind of ruins the mood, at least for me, because then I'm worried, thinking about them, they feel obligated, et cetera, et cetera. You know what I mean? So I literally was you know what? I've had enough. I want to go and I want to experience this. And having lived in Hawaii and Costa Rica, I know that these fun concerts are a privilege. Being on the mainland, you don't get big things like this, in Hawaii or in Costa Rica, when I was in the middle of kind of nowhere. And so I was now's the time. It doesn't happen that often. So just because I don't have people to go with isn't a reason for me not to go. And so I said fuck it, and I literally bought a ticket an hour before I left, and I just sent it, and I went completely alone, completely sober, and it was genuinely so much freaking fun. And so I'm so thankful that I went. I'm so thankful that I bit the bullet. I'm so thankful that I got out of my comfort zone. I love doing things alone. I do a lot of things alone, but I can't say I've ever gone to a concert alone. So that was my first time. And obviously, don't get me wrong, I so would have preferred to party with, my loved ones rather than strangers, but I genuinely, truly still had so much fun, and I'm so glad that I went, and I have no regrets. And so I say that as a sign to you guys to don't not do things simply just because you don't have people to do them with. And I always, kind of took that piece of advice with me for traveling and things like that, but never, and, going out to eat and whatever, and going on little adventures, but never to a freaking concert. And I realized going to concerts is honestly such a good way to do things alone. It's such a good thing to do alone, especially in an EDM concert. Loud Luxury is EDM, pretty boy EDM, as I'd like to describe it. And because no one knows that you're there alone. You're literally just in the middle of the crowd. No one gives two shits, first of all. Second of all, no one can even tell if you're there with people because everyone's just dancing, partying around. You know what I mean? So it was honestly such a good thing. If you're debating about going to a concert alone, honestly do it. Of course, do it smartly and be safe out there, not trying to, advertise unsafe activities. But it was so much fun, and I'm so thankful that I was able to go, and then I just sent it. And the other thing that I'm feeling really grateful for is my Saturday mornings. It's Saturday right now, and I love my Saturday mornings because I go to yoga outside. It's at the ski base near me, and it's just so freaking fun. It's at the base of a ski mountain. It's outside in the sun, and you're able to put your feet in the grass, and I love the yoga instructor, and I read this morning, and I did cold plunge, everything. I love my Saturday mornings. It's a wellness morning to me where I'm just putting my self-serving habits first and kind of prioritizing myself, and then it makes me be in a really good headspace, and I freaking love it. Also, side note, cold plunges have been my new thing. My YouTube people know, my Instagram people know. There's basically this stream running through my backyard, and I had this brilliant freaking idea to turn it into a cold plunge. And because it's all snow melt, so it's really cold water. We measured it. We had a thermometer, and it literally was like 35 degrees Fahrenheit. So I'm going to say like 35 to 40 degrees Fahrenheit to be safe. It's ice cold though. It's still freezing. And so I had the brilliant idea of Lede. I said, get in there, my boyfriend, and go shovel it, dig it out to make it a little bit deeper so that you can sit in it. And it's like perfectly in this little like waterfall. There's like because it's a stream, and there's like a little portion where there's like a little teeny mini waterfall and like this perfect kind of little pool that's like perfect for one person to sit in. And it's been amazing. It works so well. It's so nice. You don't need to put ice in it or anything because it's already just naturally cold. It's such a great way to ground, get in sunlight in the beginning of the day, like energize through water. It's so meditative. That could be a whole other podcast episode, but I'm so excited about that. I've been doing it for like a week and a half now, really consistently, like 4 or 5 days a week, anywhere from like 2 minutes up to 5 minutes on accident. That happened to me the other day. Can't say I did that with intention. It accidentally happened. But anyways, it makes me feel so good, so invigorated. And that's been like a new health habit that I have introduced that you're probably going to hear about more often. But anyways, that was the longest little introduction situation. Getting into the actual meat of the episode. This episode, my main intention here is to remind you of your power and remind you of how much control you really do have, just basically based on your discernment and your decision, based on the energy that you choose to operate out of. And the whole theme of this episode is the concept that every freaking thing is energy. So of course, I'm going to start with the backstory here to set the scene and basically kind of share what gave me so much inspiration to speak about this and was the perfect example of basically this situation, I should say, is going to be able to better explain anything that I could through words in this podcast episode. So essentially, like I said, I went to morning yoga, and you guys didn't hear me talk. Like I feel like I say the phrase energetic hygiene quite a bit, which I love that phrase. I'm not going to say I invented it, but I want to say I don't know. I feel like I coined it. I don't know. I haven't heard it from anywhere. Not saying I take credit. Anyways, such an unnecessary detail. Anyways, I'm just saying, I personally use the phrase energetic hygiene. Can't say if it's in the world or not. But anyways, I'm so huge on energetic hygiene and how your energetic hygiene really matters, because that's what I'm trying to say. Like, it really helps to dictate the energy that you are operating out of throughout your day, which really impacts the course of your day, the situations that you come into alignment with, etc. And so in this yoga class this morning, we did a lot of like the main intention of the class today was all about following your dharma, which I loved. Your dharma is essentially like your soul's purpose. So the whole class was basically about like realigning with our true soul's purpose. And in order to do that, we did a lot of heart openings to connect with our heart and to release any stuck, stagnant energy that isn't serving us, that's clouding us, that's taking us out of alignment from, being with our true soul's purpose. So we did a lot of energetic hygiene in this yoga class, right? We did a lot of heart openings. We did a lot of chakra openings. We just did a lot of frequency attunement. I want to say we released kind of lower frequencies that were within our energy field. We just cleared out our energy field. We did a lot of, I'm pretty sure it's called somatic shaking, if I'm not mistaken. And it's essentially just kind of where you're doing, it seems so funny in the moment. Like I can't help but kind of laugh when I'm doing it because it seems so silly, but it's basically just like energetic release through movement and kind of almost using like visualization in a way to clear your energy and stuff like that. And we're doing it through different movements. So we did a lot of that stuff through yoga, and I just felt really good. And by the end of it, when we really connected to our heart, like I almost started crying because it just like really evoked a lot of emotion in me, which we love when that happens. And so afterwards, which I also feel like there's another life lessons in this story that I loved. Afterwards, I had this craving for a bagel. And in my head, I was like, because I was out of eggs at home. And so I was like, do I go get a bagel or should I just like run to the store and get food, whatever. But I was like, you know what? I'm just craving a bagel. I'm going to go get a bagel. And I feel like that spoke on following my intuition, if you will. So I go out to this specific coffee shop, and I almost went to a different coffee shop, but I was like, no, I'll go to this one because it's closer to the grocery store. Like all this stuff, why I always say like everything is so divine, and why like we really need to be living our life with more gratitude, because like all these little things that like everything could have been different. Like every single decision that you make and place and environment that you find yourself in is so divine, because there was such a domino effect that got you there. Like it was so intentional and so meant to be, and even if it doesn't feel like it. So like that's the first thing. I followed my intuition that I wanted a freaking bagel. Second thing, again, just how I ended up at this specific coffee shop rather than another one that I almost went to. Anyways, so I go in there, I order my bagel, I'm vibing, I'm not doing anything. I'm literally just like totally chilling out, and I'm waiting for my bagel because I got a sesame bagel with cream cheese toasted, in case anyone's curious. And this guy comes over, And he said it really quickly, but it was the cutest, sweetest thing. He goes, hi. He was like, I just want to say your presence is so lovely. Like, you have such a beautiful presence. I hope you have a lovely day. Are you kidding me? And he just kind of like walked away. It was all like this quick. I was like, oh my gosh, thank you so much. Like, so do you. I hope you have a beautiful day. I was like so caught off guard. I like couldn't even collect words to respond because it was so sweet. That's one of my favorite. I think it is my favorite compliment ever is when someone compliments me on like my presence and my energy and just like my essence. I was like, that was the most sweetest thing. And I saw him look at me when I was in line to order my bagel, and I just kind of like giving me side eye, I guess, but I didn't like take it in any which way. And then it comes over to me and he's like, you have such a lovely presence. Like, I hope you have a beautiful day. I was like, thank you so much. Okay. Then literally like 10 seconds later, this girl who's making smoothies behind the bar, who's working there at the coffee shop, like does a double take, and she's like, oh my God, I thought you were my friend. She's like, I swear I thought you were my friend, but she's away traveling in Hawaii right now, but I literally had to do a double take. Now, to some people that doesn't seem like much, but like those like little instances like that, like first and foremost, when people feel just like the urge to say something to you and like invited to speak to you and just even make a comment, no matter how big or small, that is such a telltale sign. I'm getting ahead of myself, but like I just really need to share it now. It's such a telltale sign of where your energy is at, because that shows that you are open, you feel safe, your energy feels safe for someone else to be able to open up and be vulnerable and say something to you, right? There's something about you that's magnetizing, that's inviting, that's making them feel safe to make a comment towards you. So that was the first thing why I loved what that girl said, even if it was just kind of something small and it wasn't like a direct compliment. But I also want to say I do love when people tell me that I seem familiar, or I look familiar, I remind them of a friend, because to me that means two things. One, to me it's like right place, right time, which I love, kind of like the concept of deja vu. Like if you have deja vu, it's like you've been there before, you're supposed to be there, right place, right time. It's kind of that same concept. Like if someone finds me familiar in a sense, I see that as like right place, right time, / that I have some sort of soul connection with this person, even if it's like this minute little interaction, like maybe I've had a past life with this person or whatever the case may be, or maybe the uni's using me as a vessel to remind, you know what I mean, for like her friend to communicate through me to this friend who's working at the coffee shop to like remind her of her energy, like whatever the case may be. There's so many moving parts, which just makes me feel like I'm where I'm supposed to be when someone tells me that. And also, she said that she was traveling in Hawaii. I found super interesting because we all know I'm obsessed with Hawaii. And it was just almost like a weird reminder of uni, of just like, Hawaii, hello, maybe it's calling you again, maybe it's time to go back. So anyways, almost done with the story. So then after that, I'm like, are you kidding me? Like 2 little cute comments like that. Like I love that I was like feeling so good. And my immediate reaction was like, damn, my energy must be open as frick right now. Like if all these, all these cute little interactions are happening. And so then I go to leave after my bagel is finished, and this guy holds a door for me, and he like, again, does a double take. And he was like, whoa, he's like, you're really pretty. Again, frazzled. I was like, I don't even have anything to say. And I was just like, thank you so much. Then afterwards, I wish I said, you're so handsome, just because, hello, spread the love. Like, and men don't get complimented enough either, I don't think. So anyways, there were just literally 3 like really beautiful, sweet compliments and just even comments and acknowledgement, I want to say, just interactions that happened truly, literally within 3 minutes at this coffee shop immediately after this yoga class. And so the reason why I'm sharing this story with you is because I truly believe those like magnetic interactions happen because of how open and just vibrant and magnetic my energy was from the energy work and just the openings and just me being connected to my energy from the yoga class. I'm not saying that yoga is the only way to do that. Like, don't take me out of context. I'm just saying that was how my modality, I want to say, for doing it that morning. But this goes back to journaling, meditating, affirmations, right? How you speak to yourself, all this stuff. Like, truly, it 100% goes back to energy. Like because the reason why I also say this is because on the contrary, there's days when I am in a bad mood or I just feel really down. I'm just not having a good mood. I feel that my energy is really low. I feel really flat. I feel really closed, right? I haven't done a lot of energy work lately. I haven't made any intentions to, see the world through rose-colored glasses that day. I haven't done any intention to like open up my energy centers or open up my heart. I just am closed off that day. And those little teeny interactions just simply don't happen. Like, and I feel like if you reflect on that, it like so many of you would be able to resonate with that. Like when you're in a crappy mood, I doubt that you have those really sweet, stranger interactions or things like that. And it's because truly your energy is closed, and there's so much about life that's just unspoken that so many people want this answer for. Like if you can't have a scientific reasoning, then it's just not true. And I don't know what to tell people because I'm like, dude, I believe in magic, even though energy, there is a lot of scientific backing for the concept of energy. But stuff like this, a part of me is just like, I can't explain it, but it's just the way it is. So you can either believe it, quote unquote, and hop on this bandwagon and like live this beautiful, abundant, vibrant life, or you can choose to not be on this train because you need cold, hard facts and just like live in this like 3D, mind restricted way of life, which is fine. If that's what you want to do you. But like this type of lifestyle like lights me up. It gives me so much hope, and it just like gives so much dimension, I want to say, to life, which is completely why I love it. But anyways, I'm getting off topic here. But just essentially, I just want my biggest takeaway, my biggest point here is just that your energy speaks so loudly for itself. And there's so many little things where it's like, what caused that person to finally speak up to you? Like, because there's just, when you think about how many different ways your day could have gone, it's insane. Like, so many things change at the millisecond. Like if you're at a checkout line, like there's so many times where someone has a thought of like, her shoes are cute, but for some unexplainable reason, they just don't have that urge to voice it. You know what I mean? They just don't have that urge to actually communicate it to you. That goes back to energy. When on the contrary, if you have someone thinks in their head like, damn, her shoes are really cute. You know what? I'm going to tell her because I just feel called and invited and safe enough. And they say, hey, I really like your shoes. That is freaking energy. Like it's energy. It's your energy speaking for yourself. It's the polarization of your energy. It's the magnetism of your energy that's bringing out that expression of the person next to you. So it's like all those little things where it seems like small little stranger interactions. For me, when I have a lot of those in a day, when random people are speaking to me, they're giving me compliments, they just want small talk with me, they say, hey, how are you today? When they could have just looked down and walked by me. Hey, whether it being, it's because they liked, something about me, wanted to make them open up, or simply I just came in alignment with someone who was just having a good day, that I was in the wake of their good day and their good energy. Like it all goes back to your energy, because like attracts like. So if you're in a good, open, energetic, happy, joyful vibration and frequency, you're going to either pull people into that frequency and they're going to want to share that with you when they're in your energy field, or you're going to come into alignment with more happy people, which happy people want other people to be happy, right? They're more joyful. They're going to be sharing those compliments. They're going to be open to having a conversation, all that sort of stuff. And I think a buzzword, especially on social media, is like, you're glowing. Oh my gosh, you have such a glow, all that sort of stuff. Like the glow, quote unquote, that people have, or like the reason why your attention gets so pulled to someone when they walk into a room and it's unexplainable. You don't know why, but you just feel so magnetized to someone. It's their freaking energy. And this is why, I literally can't reiterate it enough. It has nothing to do with the way you look. It has nothing to do with your status. It has nothing to do with your achievements in life. It truly is all the way that it's the way your energy is, first of all, how open your energy, how curated, how beautiful your energy is, how magnetizing your energy is. And two, also how you see yourself, and therefore how you see life, because truly everything's all a mirror. You can truly have someone who you have no idea who they are, but this person could walk in and they could be super accomplished, right? Let's say they're super accomplished in their workplace or their schooling. Maybe they had a paper published, or they did a lot of research or something like that. They're super well recognized in their field, in their industry, whatever the case may be. But if they still feel like a failure, or feel like they're not proud of what they've done, or maybe they feel super self-conscious about another area in their life, and they walk in and they're super slumped, or their energy is just closed off, you would truly have no idea how amazing this person is, or all this stuff that they've accomplished, simply because of their energy. It's how they're carrying themselves. When someone could walk in, they are the most confident person in the room. Their shoulders are back. Their energy is vibrant. They're magnetizing. You can't help but they're just grabbing your attention, right? You have this urge to go talk to them. They just feel powerful in their presence. The way they explain things, the way they speak just makes you feel like they know a lot of stuff, regardless of whether you know if they know a lot of stuff, all that sort of stuff. But this person could be so unaccomplished on paper. They could have not gone to school. They could have not have a career, whatever the case may be. I'm just using these as examples. It truly doesn't matter. You would be more drawn and more, I want to say you would almost look up to this person more, simply based on their energy. And that's just speaking on behalf of that. Truly, it's nothing else that matters. It's not your looks. It's not your your accomplishments. It's not your money. It's not your status. It's truly the way you carry yourself and your energy. And I just really am going to be saying this until the end of my lifetime. Your beliefs and the energy that you vibrate at will 110,000% be reflected back to you. Okay. Call me delusional, call me whatever you want. Whatever you believe to be true about yourself, about your life, is going to be confirmed in your 3D reality. Why? Because it's all freaking energy. We're all vibrating. It's science. You can look it up. We're all vibrating down to our cells, down to our atoms that make up our being. Everything is constantly vibrating at a specific frequency. And so that's what's there's a whole energy currency that's happening in life constantly all the time that's making you come into alignment with certain people, with certain situations, with certain opportunities, all that sort of stuff, with certain blessings. Even down to the thoughts that you think, the emotions that you feel, they're all frequencies, right? And they're all sending signals out into the quantum field, which is basically this whole energetic field that we can't see with our eyes, that is completely happening paralleled to this 3D reality. So back to like even your thoughts, your emotions, all of that is basically putting you on a specific track to come into alignment with everything that's on that path that's in alignment with those thoughts and in those emotions. And that's where you're going to be experiencing and coming into alignment with in your everyday life. So if you believe that you're someone who is a not confident person, if you believe that you're not beautiful, if you believe that you're not skilled, if you believe you're not smart, you're going to have so many instances that continuously confirm that narrative, that story, those thoughts and emotions that you're telling yourself that you're having, because all of that is shaping the frequency that you are vibrating at in your entirety as a human, therefore putting you on the track to come into alignment with more things that confirm said narrative. And I don't mean this in like a conceited way, but it also still blows my mind that like it's inherently quote unquote conceited to see your worth and your value and who you are as a human. Like I hope with this podcast, I hope I'm encouraging you to see your worth and your value and be proud of who you are and be proud of what you bring to the table and like own that and be unapologetic about that. But so like for me and my like where I was going with that, I do feel like I have a really great, strong sense of self. I do believe I'm a beautiful individual from on the inside and the outside. I do believe that I have a lot to bring to the table. I do see my worth. I do see life as a beautiful place. I do like to give compliments to other people, right? So it's like all these things that this space that I want to say that I'm cultivating internally in my headspace, and therefore externally as well, because the thoughts you think, the emotions you have impact the actions that you then take in your 3D reality, right? Which is me starting on the inside, me thinking positively about myself, being kind to myself makes me want to be kind to other people. So I'm giving compliments to other people. I've been kind to other people lately, right? And that's what's also being mirrored back and projected back to me, because that's the reality that I am living in based on my curated thoughts and opinions and beliefs. And so that's why I feel like, you know, not only was my energy really open, which made people safe to say these really kind things to me, but I do believe it is also attributed to the sense of self and self-respect and kindness that I have for myself and the light that I see myself in. And that's why other people were seeing me in that same light. I'm not saying that's always the case, but I do think that's like a super also huge narrative of like, I do see myself in kind of in those beautiful ways. And so that's what the people around me in my life and my environment saw. And then because my energy is so open, my heart space was open, these people felt safe to be vulnerable and put themselves out there and say those things to me because my energy was so soft and inviting. So I just want to freaking say that energy matters, and it's always going to matter. And if you don't like the way that you feel, if you don't like the way you're being treated in your life, if you don't like the way your life is going, if you don't like the environment that you find yourself in constantly, if you don't like the interactions that you tend to be having with people, change your freaking energy. I also want to describe this in the way of like, it's a radio station. If you don't like the frequency you're vibrating at, freaking change your radio station. If your 93.1 station is always freaking fuzzy, or you hate the music that's constantly coming on and you want a different genre, change the freaking station. You wouldn't sit there hoping that, you know, the signal clears up or that a new song would come on. You would change the station, right? You would go shop around, you would see what else is out there. And so that's all kind of how I want you guys to visualize it with this whole energy situation. It's like, if you don't like your life path right now, if you don't like what's in your immediate reality, switch I'm trying to say freaking switch lanes and it's all happening at once. Freaking switch lanes, right? Or you can think about it driving in a car. If you want to go in a certain place and you keep getting off at this exit that does not freaking serve you, get off at the different exit, right? Like change where you're going. Type a new destination in your GPS and go freaking there instead of continuously going to the place that's just not serving you, where you're constantly disappointed. So like, Oh, I just feel so passionate about this. And if this is one of the first episodes you're hearing of me, like I speak with passion. I'm not yelling at you. It's just freaking passion that comes out. But I just I just believe in it so much. And there's so many ways to do it. Like, meditate. I think firstly it starts with the way that you speak to yourself. So like your self-talk. I think it also goes back to the way that you see the world. Right? If you constantly find yourself judging other people or thinking negatively about situations or being pissed about things, petty things like pissed about being stuck in traffic, just little, like literally do an audit on yourself. Do an audit about your feelings, what your thoughts are. And this is why journaling can be so powerful, because it helps you just gain awareness of what's going on. Like if you need to, literally make a mood journal throughout the day of like, reflect at the end of the day, say what truly was I feeling. If you need to check in at like after breakfast, lunch, dinner too, if you need this like more frequently throughout your day, check in and ask yourself, what emotions have I felt in this first, third of the day? What emotions have I mostly felt all day? And audit yourself. If you're like constantly feeling frustrated, if you feel doubtful, if you feel irritated, you need to switch something up, sister. And like, that's your responsibility. Like, again, not to give you tough love, but to give you tough love. Like, no, it's not your environment that's making you feel a certain way. And that's why I also love this energy work, and I'm so passionate about everything I talk about, because I hate, and yeah, I'm going to say it, I hate when people fall victim to their environment. Now, don't get me wrong, there's shit that goes on. Life can be hard. There's hard things in life that happen. I'm not trying to discount people, but I am trying to discount someone who's just completely fallen victim to their environment. It's not your environment that's making you feel all those ways. It's your reaction to your environment / it's your internal energy. It's just a constant master feedback loop. So when you're feeling angry, irritable, impatient, that's what's going to cause more freaking experiences in your reality to cause you to feel more irritated, impatient, and irritable. So it's like you need to somehow, some way, you need to stop the momentum and switch the narrative, and you need to say, actually, pause that. I'm going to change my inputs to joy, gratitude, and appreciation and happiness, and then my feedback loop is going to be in that loop where I'm going to be coming into alignment with more experiences that confirm those emotions, those thoughts that I'm having internally. It's literally also, if you want to talk about science, we can talk about science. It's literally how the brain works. Like, it's science that your brain is trying to find things in your immediate reality that confirm what you are thinking, because it wants to be right, first of all, and it also wants to find familiarity. The brain loves to categorize things, and it loves to fill in the unknowns. So if you say like, oh, I feel super grateful today, your brain's going to say, oh yeah, see, you're feeling really grateful. You got a good breakfast today. Like, see, yep, you're feeling grateful. Good. Yep. That's what we thought. That's what I'm seeing. I'm seeing gratitude. Good. Everything checks out, checks and balances. So it's like, you need to put that in first. Like, that's why it starts when you wake up, because the momentum happens really freaking quick, guys. If you get pissed in the morning, if you let your thoughts run away from you, if you're not intentional in the morning, if you don't set a game plan with yourself, it's just like a football game. If a football team just went out there, they didn't practice, and they just played a game, you're going to freaking get destroyed by the team that has a game plan, that checked in, that practiced. And that's what you need to do with yourself in the morning, because that momentum can really get away from you. And it's super easy when you don't consciously choose your thought process first and foremost, or you don't consciously like think of things that make you happy or run through your gratitude list. And then you have something kind of frustrating of like, we were out of eggs in the morning and you didn't realize it. Truly, you guys, that could be one thing that spirals your day out of control because of that little thing that you got pissed about. Where in comparison, if you start the day with gratitude, with affirmations and setting yourself up for a prosperous headspace, for having positive emotions and positive thoughts be the first thing you think and feel for the day, when you go downstairs and realize you're out of eggs, you're in such a higher vibrational state where you're in a more graceful state, I want to say, where you're not so like, I feel like when you don't do those things, where you don't cultivate a positive headspace, you have so much less compassion for life, is what I want to say. So when you go downstairs and realize there's no eggs, and let's say you didn't realign your mental space beforehand, you're going to lack so much more compassion for life, for your past self, for not realizing that you didn't have eggs, that you didn't go to the store, all this stuff. That's going to roll off your back once you do that energy work beforehand, and once you get your mindset right beforehand, because you're going to realize and say, oh, that's okay. Past me maybe forgot. That's okay. Let's see what my other options are. Or maybe I'll be able to go to maybe this is a good excuse to go buy something at my favorite breakfast place, to get a breakfast sandwich, or whatever the case may be. Or maybe this is a good opportunity to try something new. You start to see things just through a softer, more rose-colored lens with more compassion for life when you take a second to orientate and realign your mindset towards gratitude, towards joy, towards positive affirmation, towards positive self-talk. It is truly absolutely life-changing. So I just want this episode to encourage you guys to choose the energy you want to vibrate at in the beginning of the day. Write your gratitude list, say your affirmations in the mirror, read a freaking book that makes you feel good about yourself, right? Do something that makes you feel productive. Take care of yourself. Energetic hygiene, folks. Energetic hygiene. It goes so far. Stay open, right? Do chakra clearings, right? Meditate on that. Open up your chakras. Do what you can to open up your heart space. Do what you can to release that stuck, icky energy that's weighing you down. That's like cement bricks to you, right? All that shame, all that doubt, all that fear, all that control. Let it freaking go. Let yourself open up to the flow of life. And I promise, not only your own perception of life is going to be more beautiful, but also just what you experience is going to be more beautiful, literally just beyond what words can even describe. Lastly, before I give you guys this affirmation, I want to also give you one more visual example to fully bring home this point about how energy is so important and how it truly makes you come into alignment with more prosperous things when you're in a prosperous headspace or more abundant, whatever word you want to use. This is a perfect example because I think what people get mistaken when not necessarily me, but just when energy is spoken about, I think it's this magical, like, oh, boom, this occurrence just popped out of nowhere because I just feel happy right now. I'm not going to say that's not the case, but a better way that I visualize it, a more tangible, digestible way that I describe the reason why I understand why energy work is so powerful and why it works and why energy is so real, it's because of this. It's not that there's certain opportunities that like are popping out of nowhere that just like completely came into formation. It's something smaller like this. It's you. Here's two situations. If you're about to go into the grocery store and you're in a bad mood that day, you feel closed, your mental thoughts have just been spiraling, you've been really negatively to yourself, you say that you look fat in the mirror, that you have no freaking talent, that you're going nowhere, that your job sucks, that you're just miserable, that you don't like living here, like here's another day where it's raining. And so you're feeling flat, like your energy is closed, your shoulders are slunched over. And you have to go into the store, but you're like, ugh, F this, like just another thing on my to-do list. So you grab your phone and you check your social media for like 3 minutes. Then you go into the store. And you go in, you check out, and you don't come into alignment with anyone. We're on the contrary. Let's say you're feeling really good. You've been speaking really positively to yourself. You're feeling optimistic. You see the beauty in life. You've been saying really great things. You feel grateful for another day. You feel grateful that it's raining because the earth is being able to get some water. And you park, and it's time for you to go in the grocery store. And you're just feeling good. You don't feel any need. I'm not saying that if you feel good, you don't procrastinate, but I'm just using this as an example. You're feeling so good, you're feeling energetic, you're feeling so open that you don't feel the need to procrastinate and you just get up and you walk into the store. Well, since you went in 3 minutes earlier, you were able to walk in at the same time this other person that was walking out that also just so happened to be super high vibe that day that was feeling really good. Why? Because like attracts like, and you pass each other and they say, oh my gosh, your dress is so cute. And you're like, oh my God, thank you so much. And you walk into the store. Right? So that's kind of a much more dumbed down, minute example of how nothing's drastic. It's your timing and your alignment is what's changing. And that's why I specifically always use the word alignment, because that's more so what it is. It's not like you're necessarily creating these things vanishing out of nowhere. It's these realities always exist. They're always available to you. They're always happening. It's about you switching your frequency to the radio station you want, getting off at the correct freeway exit to go to where you want to go. That makes you come into alignment with these interactions. So it's the same thing, same day, same store, right? Nothing miraculously like hugely changed, but it's like your timing, your timeline, your alignment creates more opportunities for you to come into alignment with like-minded, prosperous things. And so that's kind of a difference of like if you were feeling super low vibe, whereas opposed to if you're feeling really high vibe, it literally goes down to small little things like that you have this like unconscious urge and guidance from your soul of little things like that, of when to go in the grocery store, should I stop to go on my phone? It's like things you're not even thinking about, but those little things help you come into alignment with what you're actually like vibrating at, the energy that you're vibrating at that day. So anyways, affirmation for this I'm literally tongue twisted up because I have so many thoughts. My energy is flowing. I literally can't even say it. Anyways, my affirmation for this epi is that my energy is eternally open and inviting to allow for divine synchronicities, which is kind of another word for like coincidences, which is something like that. You walk into the grocery store at the exact time someone else is walking out who's also feeling super good and gracious and open, and they feel so called to tell you that your dress is cute, right? My energy is eternally open and inviting to allow for divine synchronicities. I love you guys so much. As always, thank you guys so much for taking time out of your week to give this podcast episode a listen. I really hope it positively impacted you in some way, shape, or form. If it did, or if you feel like you've ever learned anything from my podcast, it would mean so much to me if you could support it in a way that's free to you. You could either screenshot this, put it on your Instagram story. I always love to see who's listening and send you guys some love and thank you guys via DMs. Or a huge thing that you can also do is leave a rating or review either on Apple Podcasts or on Spotify. We're really on the road to 500 Spotify reviews, which is would be so insane if we hit that. So anyways, those are a few ways that you can support this podcast in a way that's completely free to you. Again, thank you guys so much for your time. I'm sending you so much love, and hopefully I'll see you in the next epi next week on Monday. New episodes every Monday. Wait. You guys are probably like, dude, I can't get rid of this chick. Last final thing. I'm going to make this so quick because I keep forgetting to announce it on the podcast. Next episode, I'll probably explain it more. But I want to say my Bali retreat is officially live. Tickets are live. I basically had to rearrange the retreats that I did have planned for the rest of the year. We decided to scrap those, and we decided to come out with a Bali retreat that's happening this coming, May of 2024, the 2nd to the 9th. It's 8 days long. I've doubled the amount of workshops I'm going to be hosting throughout the 8 days. We're going to be doing journaling, meditation, movement, all together as a group. If you're someone who's looking to do more self-exploration, work on yourself, inner healing through those modalities of movement, meditation, and journaling, and if you want to meet more like-minded women, it's such an amazing way to make new friends and just a sisterhood and community of really supportive people that help you on your own healing journey through the collective. It's a great way to do that. Especially as we get older, we're not really in girl groups anymore. And so if you're looking to meet new friends, I promise you this is a great way to do so. Also, when you're traveling with people, you can't help but just get so much more closer to them in such a shorter amount of time because you're with each other for the whole week and experiencing things out of your comfort zone and all that sort of stuff. And if you also want to explore the beautiful country of Bali in a really prosperous healing space, I definitely would recommend checking out the retreat if it's something you feel called to, or if you feel really connected and resonate with my work. I guarantee you're going to find resonance with the other people in this community as well. So tickets are linked down below in the show notes if you want to check it out. Your ticket includes your full accommodation, all of the activities, all of the workshops that we're going to be doing, transportation to and from the airport, and most meals. You will still be responsible for buying your flight, your airfare, and then also any free meals that we have and any drinks and fun money that you want to spend as well. There's also going to be daily journaling prompts with corresponding affirmations for you to reflect on and explore as well every single day on your own, which we'll also discuss in a group setting. And what's crazy is that 30% of people who came on my Costa Rica retreats have rebooked for this Bali retreat, which just makes me so happy that they enjoyed their time so much. So do with that information what you will. I would love to have you. Unfortunately, all the early bird spots are left, but there's still normal pricing spots. So I would love to have you. But again, that's it. Finally, I can leave you guys alone. I hope you guys have a beautiful week. I'm sending you so much love, and hopefully see you in the next episode. Peace out.